The following video is not made for kids under 13. If you are not 13 years old, please exit out of the video now. And please, YouTube, do not sue me. Hey guys, Mooky here, and I'm back with another part of What If Izuku Was Pyra and Mythra's Driver. This is part 10. In the last part, Izuku got Jin to be his blade, and soon after, everyone is shocked about Izuku now having a second blade or a second sentient quirk ability. Soon after, but after that, many students within the UA began declaring war against him. With Izuku with Jin is actually glad to have, Izuku as his driver. With that said, let's get into this. Right after, Ochako explained why she wanted to be a hero to support her family, All Might soon appeared saying, "Young Midoriya, young Mythra, Pyra, there you are." As soon after they sing, "All Might, what are you doing here?" As he soon noticed Jin and just focused on those two and saying, for lunch, do you two want to join me?" As soon after Ochako soon says, "It's so cute." As Jin is kind of skeptical of him, as Izuku saying, "Hey Jin, this is All Might I told you about, the hero I look up to." As Jin saying, "Oh, so this is All Might." It's weird seeing him, person than in posters all across your room, as saying, Jin! Oh, my apologies. After that, they soon walk off with Ochako and Ida heading to the cafeteria before, as Ochako began asking, "Hey, Ida, why do you think that All Might wanted to speak with Deku and, Pyra and Mythra?" As, Ida saying, "It's probably because on how strong they've become. I mean, that other sentient quirk, I believe Midoriya called him Jin. It must be tied to that. I'm guessing Midoriya must be growing even stronger." As, Shoto hears this in line and thinking, so Midoriya is connected to All Might in some way, as he begins remembering something. After that, both All Might, Izuku, Pyra, and Jin are now in All Might's office, as Izuku begins, "So what do you want to talk to me?" All Might, as, the sports festival's coming up in the next couple of weeks, and to be honest, you should know about how the first year event begins, next week. However, and then all the other years begin the weeks after. As Izuku saying, "Yeah, I know that. I plan on rooting for young Togeda, in the third years, in a couple weeks from now. However, I want to root for you as well, young Midoriya." As saying, "Really?" As Pyra saying, "I thought you cared. I know you wanted to support Izuku, but do you really believe he has a chance to become the next symbol of peace? Since you already gave his quirk to Togeda, if I recall." As Jin saying, "Care to explain? I'm still new to all this after all." As Izuku saying, "All Might has a quirk where he's able to pass down to others. And he wanted to give it to me. I was the first person he asked to give it to, but I turned him down because I have Pyra and Mythra by my side instead." As Jin saying, "I see. That's understandable. After all, the three of you have been together for so long, it only makes sense that, that you would turn All Might down for her power. After all, she's more I can see her being more powerful than this one for all quirk, if anything." As All Might saying, "He's pretty blunt." As, Izuku saying, Jin, no disrespect, All Might, but to be honest, I don't see This superhuman strength and speed may be something with the stock power of One for All, but have you ever... I may be new, but I think I can handle you even at your best. As All Might saying, "Oh, you're quite the cocky blade, Jin." And I thought that Mythra was cocky before. As soon after, Jin, why are you... I'm only joking. I wouldn't disrespect your favorite hero just like that, Izuku. Even after just meeting him. I just wanted to see what kind of reaction I would get. I wanted to test him. And almost taking the bait, but you didn't. So you're pretty wise for your age, if I'm going to be honest. To be expected of the number one hero. As Izuku saying he was testing him? Man, talk about experience. He's the complete and total opposite of Mythra in every way. As soon after Mythra comes out and slaps, Izuku in the back of the head as he's saying, "Ow! What the heck was that for, Mythra?" As she's saying, "Oh, I know what you were thinking. I may not be able to read your mind, but I can tell by just how you look." And saying, "Seriously?" After that, All Might saying, "Even so, I want you, even though I know that you won't be my successor, I still entrust you with the same mission as young Mirio, to become the next symbol of peace if he can't. So, the sports festival is the perfect place for you to show the world that you are here, young Midoriya. And not only that, it could even show the power of you and your blades, as that's kind of difficult, to be honest. I mean, they're both their own person, and and to be honest, they can become students if they wanted. But on paper, they're your quirks. And if anything, I feel like they were able to do their own thing, even if you're not around. And they're kind of wondering, do you have an unfair advantage by working with one or the other? As Izuku began thinking, is there going to be any regulations on me about this? As All Might saying, "No, we did talk it over about it, but to be honest, if we let you just have one, you wouldn't be giving it your all, would you? So it only makes sense that you are allowed both of them. To be honest, I knew you wouldn't be able to give it your all if you only had one. Am I right?" As Jinsen says, blades and drivers work at their best when they're together, at their closest. Not only that, they would need a strong and powerful bond. I just bonded with Izuku just about yesterday. So I don't know him I don't know him well that much, but I'll do my best as his blade to help him out when I can. As Izuku saying, "Thanks, Jin. You really are the best." As saying, "What about me? And you're awesome too, Mythra. I know I'm going to rely on you and Pyra quite a bit during the sports festival." As she's saying, "Now that's better." The next couple of days, being the week, Izuku began training with, Jin instead of Mythra, because he knows how Mythra works inside and out, so their training they don't really need quite a bit of training. As for Jin, he's on a whole different level than Pyra and Mythra is. Since if you guys know, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Jin is literally the most powerful blade in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. He's even able to manipulate the ether in the air and change his elemental abilities. Besides, even though ice is literally his main ability, he's just so goddamn OP. However, Jin is basically a newborn blade, so that overwhelming ability doesn't just come just yet. Sorry guys if you guys are wanting it. It's gonna have to be built over time. So yeah. As for Izuku Realizing that Jin is basically, his speed is on a whole different level, he needs to cope with this. Even when he links up with him, the link is basically disconnected when Izuku is unable to control this speed. And Jin's even faster than Izuku. As Jin saying, you have to focus on catching up with me. Try and keep my pace. Once you have my sword, it's all on you. As Izuku saying, I've been used to using Mythra and Pyra's sword for almost 2 years. To be honest, I don't know if I can use any other blade weapon. As Jin saying, you're a quick kid. I can tell. You got this. Even though you only have a week, I can tell you can handle yourself even with to be honest, I'm more surprised that you're even able to master either shift, to able to move that, to even able to keep up with me at all. So, just take your time, concentrate, and focus on what you can do for now. As Izuku saying, yeah, thanks, Jin. As Pyra is just sitting on the side, they're really getting along pretty well, even if it's only just been a week. As Mythra in her mind saying, yeah, I know. If anything, it's kind of annoying. As Pyra saying, don't tell me you're jealous. As Mythra saying, who's jealous? Why could I be jealous of that white-haired pretty boy jackass, if anything? And honestly, he's so annoying, if anything. As he's even able to rival just by looking at him. If Izuku and Jin had a strong bond with one another, I can say they can even be stronger than us. If anything, even more stronger than us. Even if we use Siren. As Mythra saying, I hate to admit it, but you're right. I'm more worried if Izuku picks Jin more over us than anything. I don't want to be apart from him. As Mythra feels, well, kind of down. As Pyra reminds her that we're Izuku's first blade. We may not be able to tell him how we feel just yet, but I think he knows how we feel when we need him the most. As soon after, Izuku calls out, hey, Pyra, you think you could come over here and train with us? I think I'm starting to get a hang of this. As Pyra soon says, sure, I'll be over there. As she grabs her sword, and they begin sparring. With, well, Izuku getting the hang of the long katana that Jin has as his blade weapon. And Mythra seems, you're getting used to it. If anything, you're acting more like a samurai, if I had to say. As Izuku saying, yeah, I guess so. But I still need a long way to go. It's a lot more long. This weapon's way more longer to handle than your sword, than you and Mythra's swords. But I still prefer the challenge. As they began training even more, Izuku started getting used to Jin's sword. Even using new technique, new driver arts with Jin's sword instead. As for a single slash that feels like being cut by multiple slashes, it's called his Mississippi slash. Instead of calling smashes with Jin's sword, he calls them slashes instead. For an upper slash where he knocks people in the air with the back end of the sword and then knocks them back down, he calls that his New York slash. And for his last one, where he basically counters his opponent's attacks and then puts his sword back on his back, and which he calls his Florida slash. And I know they sound kind of annoying, but again, this is Izuku, who was still inspired by All Might, so yeah, all of his attacks will still be based on states. At any rate, the sports festival is beginning with, well, Jin actually being in a UA, well, gym uniform, as Jin saying, do I really have to wear this? I feel like wearing my blade outfit instead. As Mythra saying, oh, stop complaining, I have to wear it too. It's just what Izuku wants us to wear. I mean, it'd be kind of weird if you guys are just wearing, wearing your natural outfits. Especially you, Mythra, and you too, Pyra. As Pyra agrees, yeah, I can understand that. As they begin waiting in the waiting room, as Izuku starts to feel a little bit nervous, as Jin saying, hey, don't worry, Izuku, you got this. I don't think you have anything to worry about. As you've been training pretty hard, especially to master my abilities. So I think you got this. As Izuku saying, thanks, Jin. As soon after, yeah, I believe that you can handle this more than anybody. You worked really hard, and if anyone says otherwise, knowing Mythra, she'll knock them out. As Izuku saying, thanks, Pyra, with a nervous smile, but understands where she's coming from. Soon after, Shoto soon walks up to all three of them, saying, Midoriya, I can tell you're pretty strong. If anything, you're amazingly strong. However, I know that I'm stronger than you when your so-called sentient quirks aren't by your side. As soon after everyone hears this, and even Kendo sees this, wait, hey, Todoroki, what are you doing? As Izuku is shocked hearing this declaration of war. As Izuku saying, where's this coming from, Todoroki? I mean, I didn't expect this from you. As he's saying, doesn't matter if you expect it or not. I won't lose to you. I will beat you. Remember that. As again, Jin was about to say something. So was Pyra. As Izuku soon puts his hand up to both of them, stopping them from what they were about to say. As he soon says, Todoroki, I don't know where this is coming from, but I will tell you this. I don't plan on losing. Not to you, or to anyone else. I'll plan on giving it everything I got. I swear it. As soon after Bakugo hears this, seeing that Izuku is a lot more confident and wants to beat him as much as anybody, but is pretty pissed off that Shoto had made a declaration of war to Izuku instead of him, so yeah, he's pretty pissed off. After that, everyone is called to enter the stadium with the crowd, with President Mike introducing Class 1A, as everyone is cheering for them immensely and is quite hyped to see the heroes in training. Even Class 1B gets quite a bit of people cheering for them as well, as all the other course students began coming out, but didn't get quite a bit of applause, unlike the hero course students. After that, the one that's hosting the the first year sports festival being Midnight. As she introduces herself, she also calls for Izuku to come onto the stage, with him being being the student representative, since he got the highest points during the entrance exam. As Bakugo saying, damn it, I can't believe I still lost to that brat. As Pyra saying, you still give it your all, Bakugo. You can't deny yourself for that. As saying, what the hell do you know? As Jin saying, is he's always like this, or is he just a special case? As Pyra soon says, he's always been like this. As Mythra saying, he's more annoying, he's like a barking dog, but not even dogs would be this annoying. As Jin saying, so more worse version than you. As she's saying, Do you really want to start a fight here? Because I'm really hoping we don't start a fight here right now. After that, Izuku begins stuttering quite a bit and feeling nervous as he doesn't know what to say until he looks at Mythra and Jin as Mythra gives him a comforting smile. As he soon sees this, he takes a deep breath and says, "All my life, I was born quirkless, and too many people told me to give up on being a hero until I actually got my quirk 2 years ago. So, to be honest, I want to give it my all because I truly want to show that even with years of not having a strong quirk like everyone else here, I can still show that I can become a hero, that I won't be left behind everyone else." As he says this, thank you, and soon leaves the mic and goes back down as everyone begins cheering for Izuku, as he soon smiles a bit, and soon after, Mythra saying, "Nice work, Izuku, you were awesome," and gives him quite a bit of a hug, as Jin saying, "Nice speech. If anything, I think it just shows how much you really are grown." As Izuku has quite a confident smile, as soon after, Midnight begins explaining the first event, being the obstacle course race, as she soon says they'll be starting here and going around the entire stadium with them avoiding obstacles throughout the entire race. As Izuku, with everyone cheering him on, even his 2 blades by his side as well, he's confident on what he can do. As he asks for Jin for his sword and is ready for what's to come. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Sorry to end it like this. I know it could go a little bit further, but there's something I need to take care of beforehand. I'll try and start the next script as soon as possible. With that said, please like and subscribe, which helps out my channel a lot. And that said, this is Mooky signing out. Later.